I never imagined I'd be the kind of person who cuts ties with their family. That always felt like something overly dramatic people on Reddit did, something you do when you can't handle a bit of conflict. I believed that if you just kept your head down, stayed calm, avoided stirring the pot, things would work out eventually. That belief shattered about 14 months ago, when my younger sister Emma, 26, got engaged to her longtime boyfriend, Tom. Emma and I have always had a complicated relationship. She's the golden child, beautiful, charming, funny, the one who lights up a room without even trying. I was the opposite. Quiet, dependable, the one who got good grades, helped out without being asked, and stayed out of trouble. I was the background character in my own family story. Growing up, Emma got the spotlight. If she scored a B+, it was a celebration. If I got an A+, the response was a flat, good job. When she crashed the car at 17, my dad called it a learning experience. When I hesitated to get my license due to anxiety, my mom told me to grow up and stop being so difficult. Still, I held on to the hope that her wedding would be different. That maybe, just maybe, she'd want me there, helping her pick out a dress, holding her bouquet, standing beside her as she said her vows. Instead, she didn't even invite me. Not only was I not asked to be a bridesmaid, I wasn't on the guest list at all. I only found out she'd finalized her bridal party through a cousin's Instagram post. Shocked, I called my mom. Surely it was some mistake, maybe a miscommunication, an email gone missing. My mom simply said, "It's Emma's day. She wants to keep it small. Don't take it personally." Small turned out to be 12 bridesmaids, including 2 co-workers she'd known for under a year. When I asked Emma directly what was going on, she didn't sugarcoat it. "You're just not someone I see being part of my wedding. I need fun, positive people around me. You're always so serious." I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I just said, "Okay," and hung up. No one in my family stood up for me. Not when she said that. Not when I stopped attending bridal events. Not even as I slowly distanced myself. 2 months before the wedding, I booked a solo trip to Iceland. 10 days, timed exactly during her wedding weekend. I didn't tell anyone until the week of. When my mom found out, she blew up. "You're seriously going to miss your sister's wedding over this? That's so childish." I calmly reminded her I wasn't invited. Her response? "Well, you could have asked to come as a guest." As if I was meant to beg for a place where I was already told I wasn't wanted. So I left. And honestly, it was incredible. Peaceful. I hiked glaciers, soaked in hot springs, tasted the best bread I've ever had, and I didn't check my phone once. When I finally turned it back on at the airport, I was flooded with over 60 missed calls and 100+ messages. My stomach dropped. I thought someone had died. Nope. The wedding was called off. Emma had found out, the night before, that Tom was cheating with one of her bridesmaids. Everything unraveled. The ceremony was cancelled, guests were sent home, and chaos erupted. Now, suddenly, I was needed. My mom left voicemails sobbing. My dad, who never texts, wrote, "Please call your sister. She's devastated." My brother messaged, "Whatever happened between you two is in the past. She needs you." I waited 3 days before replying. Then, I sent one message in the family group chat, the same one I'd been quietly removed from months earlier. Asterisk, I wasn't invited to the wedding. You made it clear I wasn't wanted. Don't reach out now just because it's convenient. I hope Emma's okay, but I'm not your emotional support system. Take care. Silence. Only my cousin, the same one whose post had shown me the bridal party, reached out. She said she was proud of me. That was it. About 5 months later, Emma sent a 1-sentence apology. "Sorry for how things went down with the wedding. I wasn't trying to hurt you, I was under a lot of pressure." It felt more like a PR statement than genuine remorse. I replied politely. Said I was still taking space. She never followed up. My mom, meanwhile, has been telling extended relatives that I abandoned the family during a crisis. I've heard through the grapevine that she paints me as cold, distant, even bitter. Funny, considering none of those people noticed I wasn't invited in the first place. 1 year later, I haven't spoken to Emma in nearly a year. My mom. Almost 10 months. They still send holiday cards. They still sign texts with, "We love you." But love isn't exclusion. Love doesn't silence someone and call it peace. What they loved was my compliance, my willingness to stay quiet and reliable. The moment I stopped being their emotional sponge, I became the villain. But you know what? I'm thriving. I started therapy. Took a second solo trip, this time to Japan. Got a promotion. Moved into a place that feels like home. I'm seeing someone now who truly hears me. I found friends who make me feel seen and safe. For the first time in my life, I'm not exhausted from trying to be enough for people who never made space for me in the first place. Will I ever reconnect? Maybe, but only if there's real accountability. Only if someone finally says, "We hurt you. That wasn't okay." Until then, I'm done being the family's doormat. We're so often taught that being a good daughter means being quiet, small, and endlessly available. I've learned that sometimes, being a good daughter to yourself means walking away.